Right then, I'm now here for my Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury fight preview now for you guys. Going down this Saturday, and yes, I can't wait for this fight. Unified Heavyweight World Championships, and I'm really, really, really hyped for this one. I think this one's probably bigger than the third, and I've already done a video saying that I do believe Oleksandr Usyk will defeat Tyson Fury, but I'm more giving two sides of the argument in this preview for the fight. But if I'm being real, I'm not as confident in my prediction as I was for the first fight where I predicted Usyk to win. I just think that this one's a bit more unpredictable as well for some reason. I've just got that feeling. I also think, there is a possible situation that could go on with the judges in this fight. If it does go the distance, which I do think is likely. Obviously went the distance last time. No reason why it can't this time. But yeah, my prediction was for Oleksandr Usyk to win on points. But it is possible for Tyson Fury to win this fight. But the weird thing is, though, is that I've seen loads of people counting Usyk out of this fight, and I don't understand why. But I've also seen many people counting Tyson Fury out of this fight as well, and I don't think you should. So it's a very intriguing one, in my opinion. I think both men are going with bad intentions for this fight. That's what's being said in the build-up. Usyk has said that he believes he will knock out Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury says that he believes he will knock out Oleksandr Usyk this time around. So it's interesting because obviously Usyk, I think, has a lot of rights to believe that he can knock out Tyson Fury, especially with what happened in the ninth round. And I feel like if Usyk has Fury like that again, like what he had in the ninth round, then I reckon it could be game over for Tyson Fury as well. And you do think as well, if there's a little bit more time left in that ninth round, Oleksandr Usyk would have probably got Fury out of there. Or if the referee, let it go on a bit longer, then Usyk with one more shot could have put Fury on his arse at least. So that's an interesting thing as well. But we do know that Tyson Fury, he has got power in his hands. I don't think he's one of the hardest hitters in the division, but he has got power. Same as Usyk, not one of the hardest punchers in the division, but they have got power. And the thing that both Fury and Usyk have got over a lot of guys in the heavyweight division is speed and the boxing IQ. These two guys are the two fighters in the heavyweight division who have the best boxing IQ out of everyone else. And boxing IQ wise, I do think Usyk is the best boxing IQ in the heavyweight division and possibly some of the best boxing IQ in the whole of boxing. But, Tyson Fury is, second to Oleksandr Usyk in that heavyweight division, boxing IQ-wise. But again, though, you've got two guys with very bloody good, strong chins. Usyk's chin's been tested, by the likes of Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua. Even, Tyson Fury tested it in the last fight. Dubois tested the chin of Usyk as well. And we know that Tyson Fury's had his chin tested by, punchers like Deontay Wilder. And, Fury was able to take, those shots well. Even when he got knocked down, he was always able to get back up. But I do think overall, though, in Fury's whole career, I think Usyk's had Fury hurt more than anyone has before. Usyk had Fury hurt more than what Deontay Wilder had him. Even though Wilder dropped him, I think, the amount of trouble that Usyk had Fury in that ninth round, you don't see, Tyson Fury looking like a drunk man in the ring very often. Usyk made him look like that. So that is something in my opinion. But, we also saw Fury kind of, make Usyk's legs go in that sixth round as well in that first fight. So it's like, and we haven't seen Usyk, extremely, well, that's probably the most hurt I think we've seen Usyk in his career as well. You didn't see AJ do that to Usyk. You didn't see Dubois do it to him or Chisora. And, as I said, same as Fury. You didn't see Wilder hurt Fury like what Usyk did. You didn't see Dillian White hurt Fury like Usyk did. So I think, both guys have, had each other in the most trouble that, they've had in their whole careers. So I think that's a really interesting factor coming into this fight as well. Both guys respect each other's accuracy and power. So that's an interesting thing in my opinion. And the speed that both guys have got and the feints and the traps that both guys are very good at setting. I feel like Usyk was probably the best at setting traps in that first fight. because he was, doing a mix of all different kinds of things. Tyson Fury was able to trap Oleksandr Usyk into that uppercut in those mid rounds, but I think that was the only trap that Fury did. And eventually, as the fight went on, Oleksandr was able to figure that out. Throughout the first fight, I don't think Fury was able to really figure out any of Oleksandr Usyk's traps, which made things interesting. It showed, both guys have got good boxing IQ overall, because both guys were able to, set traps for each other. And we both know how extremely clever both guys are when they're in there. So, again, that's something very interesting to see. You never know what can happen this time around with all that. Will this fight be a case of both guys trying to outsmart each other, kind of like the first one? Or are we going to see an even more aggressive side from both? I think that's what we need to see from Tyson Fury. But with Oleksandr Usyk, I think he's always going to be able to outsmart Tyson Fury no matter what. Usyk has a better boxing IQ than Fury. And, you never see anyone be able to outsmart Oleksandr Usyk. That's the thing. I mean, with Tyson Fury and Ngannou, at times Ngannou was able to, beat Fury to the punch. So again, Fury's been kind of outsmarted a little bit before. Usyk, we've never seen him be outsmarted. But again, though, I think we could see more of an aggressive version from Oleksandr Usyk coming into this second fight, because I think Oleksandr Usyk might headhunt a bit more than he did in the first fight. Because, obviously there was a lot of body work coming from Oleksandr Usyk, and that was the right thing. But now he knows he can really stun and hurt Fury upstairs. I reckon we're going to see more headhunting from Usyk. I reckon first 2 rounds, possibly, Oleksandr Usyk will be trying to work Tyson Fury to the body. Then eventually catch him to surprise upstairs. And then eventually try and keep headhunting a bit more than he was in the first time. But he's obviously still going to be mixing with some nice body shots. With Tyson Fury coming to this fight, I said it in my possible strategy prediction for Tyson Fury in my video that I made. I think Tyson Fury probably needs to mix in some more shots. So I feel like he needs to sharpen up that jab a bit more, because obviously Fury was throwing it from the waist quite a lot in that first fight, and that is what he does overall. But against someone like Oleksandr Usyk, that's not going to work, because Oleksandr Usyk's got fantastic defense, and he was always able to, a lot of the time, parry the jab right back down. But I feel like what Fury did do well with the lead hand is, be able to set his shots up behind that. But I don't think the jab of Tyson Fury in that first fight was overly successful. So I feel like that's something that's going to have to be sharpened up from Tyson Fury. I think as well, Tyson Fury probably needs to try and sharpen up that straight right hand as well. I don't feel like we saw it enough from Tyson Fury in that first fight. So that's something in my opinion. From Oleksandr Usyk, I feel like he's going to try and mix in a few more hooks to the body and upstairs as well, up close. That's important for Oleksandr Usyk, because, when we saw them from Oleksandr Usyk, they were able to trouble Tyson Fury. I mean, we saw some good hooks in upstairs, but we might see some more. I want to see some more hooks to the body this time from Oleksandr Usyk instead of just the straights. And that's going to make him even more bloody predictable than he already is. So that, again, I reckon could be a possibility from Oleksandr Usyk. And overall, I've seen loads of people throughout the build-up saying how great Tyson Fury's jab is. But in that first fight, Oleksandr Usyk's jab was quite a bit better than Tyson Fury's. And in that lead hand battle as well, Oleksandr Usyk was always able to outsmart Tyson Fury in that. Even though I think overall Tyson Fury's got a good lead hand, and that showed in the first fight. It was just the jab which kind of let him down overall. But again, sets up shots nicely behind the lead hand though, Tyson Fury. But Usyk does exactly the same, and I think did it better than Fury in that first fight. And I think that's probably going to be the same going into this rematch, in my opinion, as well. So that's, again, is something that could be interesting. But I don't think Fury should go in and try and outsmart Usyk. And surely he knows that as well. But again, from what we've been hearing from Tyson Fury in this build-up, he's been saying, "Oh, I'm going for the kill. I want to, try and bring some pain and damage." So again, could that be a sign of the game plan from Tyson Fury? And could we see him go in really aggressively? I wonder what that would look like though, because we've never seen Fury, going really wild or anything like that. But again, I don't know. He's not going to go wild, but he might try and take the front foot. But again, I don't see Tyson Fury being able to take the front foot against Oleksandr Usyk. I feel like Usyk wins that battle every single time, the battle of the feet. Usyk's a southpaw. So, that's already a big advantage to Oleksandr Usyk. You never know. There could be a chance that Fury matches Usyk as a southpaw because we know Fury can fight both stances. But again, Usyk's a proper southpaw. He's one of the best bloody southpaws in the sport. So again, if Fury going southpaw and matching Usyk as a southpaw, again, I don't see that working for Tyson Fury in this fight either. So I think Usyk wins the front foot battle every single time, and Fury might need to try and be aggressive on the back foot and try and make Usyk open up. I don't know though, but again, I think if Fury opens up too much at times, I feel like that could possibly be a downfall for Tyson Fury. I mean, we saw it in the first fight. Eventually, when Fury was opening up, it all eventually was able to catch up to Fury, and Usyk was able to catch him. And also as well, though, with Usyk being on the front foot and always pressuring Fury, even when Fury was winning those mid rounds of the fight, Usyk was always still on Tyson Fury, not taking a backward step. That's a big thing as well. And that was a big thing that was able to tire out Tyson Fury. Even when Usyk was hurt at times in those middle rounds, he was still always in the front foot and very rarely took a backward step. That's the big thing about Oleksandr Usyk as well. He was still always on Tyson Fury. And as Oleksandr said before the fight, don't be afraid, I will not leave you alone. He fully meant that. He fully meant that. And now that's one of the best sayings in boxing. So I think, again, that's something that really could trouble Fury. And I feel like Usyk was very, very, very good at being able to back Tyson Fury up into that corner and let his shots go to the body. And I feel like even more now from Usyk, I feel like the volume is going to be more from Usyk in this fight because obviously with Usyk last time, I feel like Usyk was all about the accuracy. And that was a big thing in what was able to win Oleksandr Usyk the fight was the accuracy. Tyson Fury, I think, the volume was on his side, but the accuracy was always coming from Usyk, and the more stinging shots were always coming from Oleksandr Usyk. Will Tyson Fury this time try and be the more accurate guy and try and do less volume, or will Usyk be the more volume guy? I don't know. I feel like this time around it's probably going to be Usyk the more volume, but he's also going to be the more accurate puncher as well. I feel like Usyk's going to be that good to be able to go back, look at Fury and adjust. Well, look at the first fight and adjust. I think Usyk's going to be throwing more punches and he's going to be more accurate as well. And then you never know, we could be more on course to an Oleksandr Usyk stoppage or, just a much more convincing Oleksandr Usyk points win. Even though, to be fair, I scored the first fight like 116, 111 to Oleksandr Usyk. And I thought that was wide. You never know. It could be wider this time round. I feel like Usyk's probably got Tyson Fury's number. But again, if we see another side from Tyson Fury, that makes things interesting. I feel like a thing that I also want to mention as well is that loads of people are talking about, Tyson Fury always wins rematches. But they're against people who he's already bloody beaten, though. They're against people who he's already beaten. Deontay Wilder in that first fight, let's be real, he won the fight. Then he beat him the second time. Then he beat him the third time. Then, like we talk about the Chisora rematches as well. Obviously, we beat him the first time, beat him the second time, and beat him the third time. So it's like he hasn't lost before going into a rematch. This is a completely different scenario and rematch this time. He was going into fights last time in these rematches that he'd already won. This time, it's a completely different story, and you're up against the best heavyweight of this generation, one of the smartest heavyweight boxers to ever walk the planet, and that is Oleksandr Usyk. So that is something as well that I feel like people need to, take in mind as well when you're saying, Fury always wins rematches. No, first of all, he's fighting Oleksandr Usyk. He's not up against a Derek Chisora. He's not up against a Deontay Wilder who are guys who just try and rely on power and big random shots. Usyk picks his shots nicely, always outsmarts you, And yeah, there we go. And what about Usyk? You know, he won his rematch against Anthony Joshua. So far, all of Usyk's rematches have gone his way. So, you know, it's like I feel like it's a stupid argument to say that Tyson Fury's just always winning rematches. It's not, because, you know, the guys Fury's been in there with rematches are completely on a much worse level than what Usyk is. Usyk's way above those guys. Usyk is way above those guys who Fury is rematched at the end of the day. So again, that's something that people need to consider. But yeah, I think that this is a really, really, really intriguing fight, to be honest with you. But I mean, before I do wrap up and all, I do also want to talk about the possible judges situation as well. I mean, could Turkey Al-Sheikh try and rig this fight? That's going to be playing on my mind throughout the fight, and it's been playing on my mind throughout the week as well. It's ever since I saw that phone call recently, even though I've always thought it, because it's like, we know Turkey's going to want the rematch, and it's going to be the same thing with Bivol and Bertabiev as well. He's going to want Bivol to win to make the trilogy, and that's the same. He wants Fury to win to make the trilogy, but in my opinion, Turkey's just been too vocal about wanting Fury to win. He wants Fury to win, and he's been really vocal about it. That's a bad sign, in my opinion, as well. That, you know, he clearly really, really wants him to win. And that's not a good sign. So I do feel like it's just that phone call which really kind of made me worry about. And you know, it's given me concerns for Usyk, but I'm sticking with my guns, and I do believe Usyk on the 21st of December, Oleksandr Usyk will prove he's the better man. That's the big thing. Does he definitely get the decision? I hope so. He should, and I think he will get the decision. But there's a possibility scorecards might be closer than they should be, or you never know if the fight is close on decision. But even if all of us fans and most pundits and everyone have Usyk winning, but it is close, they're gonna give it to Fury. So that's a big thing to consider, in my opinion, as well. There's lots of interesting possible things that could happen here, in my opinion, coming into this fight. It's very interesting, very intriguing. Let's just hope that we get the right winner in this fight, and I believe that is Oleksandr Usyk. But, I mean, you know, we can't fully count Tyson Fury out, but Usyk's done it before. I believe he can do it again. Usyk's one of the best guys at being able to adapt to a situation when he's actually in the ring. Tyson Fury is clever in his own right, but not as clever as Usyk. And now Usyk's had about 7 months to go back, look at the footage, and he's going to be adjusting many things. I think a lot of people in coming to his fight, you know, they're only talking about what Tyson Fury might do. Not enough people are talking about the adjustments that Oleksandr Usyk is going to make coming into this fight. And that's a big thing as well. I feel like Usyk's cardio is probably going to be better this time round than it was the first time round. And we know how great it was the first time round. You know, everyone knows, you know, even if they're both tied, which they were at the end of the first fight, Usyk's always going to be bloody fitter than you. And he's always going to be more clever than you. That's a big thing. And that's a big thing that's going to win Usyk's. And that's the big thing which has won Usyk fights in the past. And that is also a big thing which I think will win Usyk the fight this weekend in this rematch. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going with Usyk to win. But yeah, roll on Saturday night. Anyway, thanks for watching. In a bit.